So today, guys, first off, I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. You'll be getting this episode on the morning of Christmas Eve. I hope this starts a long-standing tradition here in the workshop, but some people I'm very close with also do their own kind of Christmas special every year. I was really trying to come up with something that would encapsulate the Christmas season and everything that we do here at the Workshop podcast. So what I've decided is to read to you the script, hopefully you enjoy this, of an episode of a TV show. I'm not going to tell you which one, but I'm going to give you a few hints, and then we'll play the theme music. But it deals with Christmas. It deals with the Y2K bug. It deals with a handyman, or a dad who thinks he's handy, at least. It's all about pop culture, and I think you guys are really, really going to enjoy it. And I hope this becomes something that we can do year after year. One of my big pet peeves is somebody saying the first annual. So I'm not going to call this the first annual because something can't be the first annual. It can only be the second annual. So with that, let's dive in to the Workshop Christmas Special. Okay, so today, guys, we are going to go back to December 19th, 1999, Season 4, Episode 10 of King of the Hill, titled Hillenium. The tagline is, as Y2K approaches, everybody fears the approaching millennium, even Dale, who hoards food, Mountain Dew, and hamsters in his basement. Only Hank is unaffected by the growing concerns, until there's a propane shortage. So our story opens up with Hank at a Christmas tree lot picking out a Christmas tree. Boy, I tell you what, Chappie, you've got some good-looking trees this year. Is that a dig? 'Cause it ain't funny, Hank. I wasn't trying to be funny. Sorry, Hank, but people ain't buying trees this year. They're buying batteries and bottled water. It's the millennium, Hank. Well, that's crazy. Everyone's known about the millennium for almost a year now. You know, I have it on good authority from Texas Propane Association Commissioner Murray Hogarth, personal friend, that there will be no disruption of essential services. Well, I'm not panicking. You want to know why, Hank? Because Chappie takes care of Chappie. Want a piece of cornbread? Made it myself with no electric tools. Must be the elbow grease that makes it taste so good. That or the lard. Render that myself, too. You're like a pioneer, Chappie. Yep. I live in a shack, and I poop in an outhouse. I eat what I kill. Let the grid go down, Lord. I don't need it. There isn't a Mrs. Chappie. Is there, Chappie? Now we cut back to Bill, Hank, Boomhauer, all standing around drinking beer by the fence. I tell you what, man, them Y2K, man, them mainframe gonna go crashing down, man. That grid, man, like apocalypse now, man. The horror. The horror. Oh, Lord, Dale. You know this Y2K thing is tailor-made for paranoid freaks like him. Gentlemen, sorry I'm late, but I had a fantastic day. I went to the Army-Navy store. What'd you buy, a battleship? No, Hank, don't be silly. I bought an American flag decal. It signifies my full faith and confidence in the United States government in these trying and uncertain times. Well, it's taken 2,000 years, but Dale, you're finally making sense. Team U.S.A. Cut to Dale, down in his bunker, counting all of his Y2K rations. Well, let's see. 4 sacks of seed corn, 18 cases of breakfast bars, strawberry, 18 cases of breakfast bars, assorted, 2 CO2 pressurized drums of Mountain Dew. No one's going to catch the Big D off guard. Hi-ya! The real problem will be obtaining fresh meat. Good thing I got a pair of breeding gerbils. Dale, honey, one of those is a hamster. Laugh now, lady. After a month of eating cockroaches, you'll be begging for gerbster. Next scene, Peggy in her computer closet, typing away, working on a riddle with the kid sitting behind her. Peggy says, "Okie dokie, how's this one?" Although there's no L in Christmas, there is a no L in Christmas. Bobby, the second one is Noel. That's a different word. That's very funny, Mom. Luann laughs forcibly. Who wants to go to Megablow Mart with me and buy some tinsel? I do. Peggy, tinsel? Next scene at the Megalo Mart as the family shops. Our prices are ho low. Attention, AJ, we need to bring the box over to aisle. There's a run on triple ply bunny soft. What about quilted aloe vera? I don't know, it's not my brand. Well, it's my brand. Bobby, you're not all hipped up on this Y2K hoo-ha, are you? I just saw a man wheeling 300 rolls of triple ply, and it made me uneasy. That man's a nut job. He's no nut job. I used to work for Dell Computer. I know things. Dell Computer? Excuse me, ma'am, but I have a K-Pro. Now, can you tell me if that will be Y2K compliant? A K-Pro. My watch has more memory than that piece of crap. Do you know what I think, Dad? Nut job. Cut to the next scene where Peggy is frantically trying to print everything she has on her computer because she's scared she's going to lose it in the Y2K. Peggy, I need your help. I need hard copies. I could lose everything, Hank, everything. 7-letter boggle words. My Peggy Hill self-abridged thesaurus. Musings, ponderings, on the way to being musings. Rap music, wrapping paper. I know I can crack that nut. Peggy, darling, why don't you take off that nasal strip? Maybe your snoring will drown out the sound of that dang printer. Don't blame me, Hank. Blame the freaking millennium. Hank and Dale stand around chatting. Hey, Dale, you own a computer, don't you? I have a system. Well, I'm going to surprise Peggy this year. I'm going to get her a new computer. A computer? A computer. It's a shame to see all our friends and neighbors acting so selfish. Fred Nicholson cut off an old lady yesterday in the checkout line, the JV basketball coach. Greedy. If everyone hoards, there'll be nothing left to go around, and he who does hoard will have unreasonable power. You and I, Dale, seem to be the only ones around here that have our heads on straight. Completely straight. Next, Bobby, Dale, and Hank go to an arcade. Dad, the machines are down for compliance testing. Hold the phone. Whack-a-mole is up and running. Oh, of course it's up and running. Bobby, there's no computer in your whack-a-mole game. It's a basic peg and gear system with a simple servo motor controlling each rodent. They don't make them like this anymore. Hank, I found one. Now hold on, Dale. I want to make sure it's Y2K compliant because Peggy's K-Pro evidently is not. K-Pro? That wasn't even Y1K compliant. All home computers are Y2K compliant now. But the mainframes, if people would spend a little less time worrying and a little more time reading a brilliant written op-ed piece by former FCC Chairman Reed Hunt, then they'd realize that our government has everything under control. I'd like to read that article, Dale, and I'll take that computer, the gray one. Shoot, our system is down. I can't ring you up. Well, just write me a receipt. Sir, the computer is down. I can't sell you a computer. I can't check our inventory. I can't lock the front door. It's impossible to figure out the sales tax. It's 8%. Yes, and 8 is a key on the computer. Next, cut to Hank and Peggy's backyard, where Bill drops by to have a chat with Peggy. Hey, Peggy, where's Hank? Hank? He went someplace, I can't tell you. He went Christmas shopping, didn't he? So I moved all the combs to the lower drawer, which was practically empty, and now it's base-wide policy. Yeah, so all the barbers at Fort Blandon. Bill, tell me the part about what Hank is getting me for a computer. Bill, anyway, Peggy, yeah. Next scene, Dale at home talking to his wife. As he goes down the stairs, he discovers a mess in the basement. My Mountain Dew. How could you do this to me, Puff Puff? The hamster that chewed a hole through. My cigarettes. No. Well, next scene cut to Strickland Propane as Hank is chatting with his boss. Well, I hope you took your heart pills this morning, Mr. Strickland, because it looks like it's going to be a rough one. Not me, Hank. There's a lynch mob out there. They've gone Y2K cookie. I'm out of here. But, sir, have you forgotten the Gasser's Creed? I promised to dispense. I don't have time for that. Debbie and me are going to the desert to ride out the apocalypse. I'll be back in 2 weeks. The crowds are getting angrier and more unsettled as Hank sits there behind the desk. Don't worry, we've got plenty of propane to go around. Hey, Joe Jack, what do you got left in the tanks out back? The tanks are tapped out, Hank. We got nothing. What? But we were supposed to get a shipment in this morning. Hank, it's officially an emergency. I'm going to put a call in to Texas Propane Commissioner Murray Hogarth. He'll have a bobtail here in no time. Murray Hogarth, please. Hi, Murray. Hank Hill calling. My supplier left me holding the... What? But you promised me there were procedures in place. What does this have to do with Y2K? What does temporary non-compliant mean? Murray, stop crying. Act like a commissioner for God's sakes. So, Murray, where's our propane and propane accessories? Nothing to panic about. Okay, I've got some extra tanks in the back. So if you just form a line, single file, please, that's it. Okay, there's procedures in place. Procedures. Forgive me, Lord, for what I'm about to do. And what Hank's about to do is walk out to his car with the last 3 tanks of propane, put them in the trunk of his vehicle, and drive home and keep them for himself. Next, Hank pulls into home and starts chatting with Peggy. Peggy, did it make the news? Did what make the news? Over at work, Murray Hogarth was crying. Peggy, the computer thing, this could be big. You were right to be worried. I'm more than worried, Hank. I'm panicked. I'm panicked that my old computer's going to drag this family down into the depths of chaos. Yeah, let's get rid of that old computer. Exactly, I agree. Yeah, let's get rid of that old computer, shall we? Now Hank goes over to have a chat with Dale to kind of calm his nerves. Dale, thank goodness. Everyone's losing their mind. And you're the only... Shut up. I don't have time for your little problems. My gerbil screwed me. What? I'm ruined. All the planning, all the secret hoarding. You've been hoarding? Duh! I need foodstuffs. What do you got? I got nothing for a liar like you. Well, you've got 3 tanks of propane. How'd you know that? Hank, I've dedicated my life to getting ahead of others in times of crisis. This is my time. Fine. It's your time. So what do we do? I have no idea. Hank and Dale decide to go see Chappie, the Christmas tree salesman, who seems to have his shit together. Okay, you're going to need a wheat grinder. I'll teach you how to grow your own mung beans in old paper towels. I live in a shack and I poop in an outhouse. That's it? This is your go-to guy, Hank? An outhouse and monkey beans? I couldn't take on the freaking bicentennial with an outhouse and monkey beans, let alone the millennium. Is that a dig? You listen to me, Clem Cadiddlehopper, and you listen good. 1.2 trillion lines of lethal software code. Yeah, and 30 billion embedded microchips. All going down. Utilities will fail. Nuclear weapons will launch themselves. Wait, hold on. Don't cut me off. We can work as a team, right? I'll take care of tools and supplies. You guys are in charge of the food. Try and stay focused. As Dale and Chappie walk around in circles, Hank realizes at this moment they're all screwed. Hank and Bobby are at home having a chat. Now, Bobby, I know your mom wants a computer for Christmas, but she'll thank me come January 1st when this is the only gift on the block that works. And when the grid goes down, you know what's going to happen? I don't know what a grid is, Dad. Exactly. Nobody does. And they certainly won't know what time it is. And that's when they'll be knocking on our door, Bobby, asking to use our grandfather clock, Bobby. Dad, what happened to your power drill? It's gone. Got rid of it. Trade it to a fool for a sack of corn. We only got 6 days, Bobby, to stock up on aloe vera quilted toilet paper. I'll get the truck. Cut to Dale and Chappie at a dog adoption center trying to get a breeding pair of dogs for meat. Shush, Chappie. Let me handle this. My friend Chappie and I, we both have wives for whom we are looking for presents. Christmas dogs to put under the tree. How about this Lhasa Apso? No, that's way too small. Yeah, let me see. And this one's kind of old and ropey. My wife would not enjoy that. Maybe you two should step away from the cages? Please, sir, my wife's in a wheelchair. All she wants for Christmas is a big, fat dog with lots of meat on his haunches. I'll take 9 of those little dogs on top and wrap them up. Cut to Christmas morning as the Hill family opens up their Christmas presents. Dad, we have Christmas. Have we lost power? Don't know, Bobby, but when we do, we'll be ready. Okay, Bobby, honey, why don't you get us started? I love it. You did drop big hints. Toilet paper, right? All right, who's next? Luann? That's right. They call that a roller washing machine. They don't call that a mangle for nothing. It's a laundry mangle. So Luann, you get a hand crank washing machine, and Bobby gets 4,000 sheets of toilet paper. Thank you, Bobby. I got you a Discman, and Uncle Hank, I got you a pair of Timberland boots. And I got you toilet paper and a laundry mangle. Peggy, it's your turn. Is it bigger than a mouse pad? Well, why don't you go find out? It's in your office. This is not a computer. No, Peggy, it's a Stromwell from 1910. I didn't want a grandfather clock. And I didn't want toilet paper. Fine, I'll take the grandfather clock. It's a great grandfather clock. Next, cut to Hank sitting by himself looking at a photo of Coach Landry. Well, I bet you're ready for the millennium, Coach Landry. You won 270 games, and all you needed was one suit, I tell you what, and one hat, and that one expression. So at this point, Peggy informs Hank that she's going to take the kids to the store and get them real presents. So Hank, kind of pissed off doing what a man normally does when he gets mad, he goes out to the workshop and starts putting around. He ends up finding a scratch on the grandfather clock and decides it's time to apply a new coat of varnish with the garage door locked. He starts going and gets high as you know what off the smell of the varnish, passes out, and has a varnish-induced, drug-laced fever dream where he becomes part of a whack-a-mole game. He talks to Coach Landry. He feels like he's absolutely lost. Coach Landry tells him the only way to live, Hank Hill, is to try and do something. You can't be absolutely scared all the time. And as Coach Landry pops up from inside the whack-a-mole game, Hank wakes himself up, hops onto the ride-on mower, and drives it straight through the garage door to fresh air. Hank! Goodness sake, Hank! Dad, you okay? Yeah, I'm okay. We're all gonna be okay. What are you doing? Bobby, trust me. I want to apologize to everyone for almost ruining Christmas. There really is nothing to be afraid about this new millennium. Heck, the year 2000 only happens once in the history of man, I tell you what. And we're darn lucky to see it happen. Peggy, do you remember how excited you were when you rolled over the odometer in your old Buick? Imagine if the whole world had been in that car with you. Oh, Hank, don't burn the clock. You know, the more I see it, the more I think it makes me look like an intellectual. Actually, Peggy, I got you a real Christmas present. A system. Really, the blueberry one. It'll be here tomorrow. Oh, Hank. And as the Christmas New Year's episode of King of the Hill, titled Millennium, comes to a close, you hear a voiceover by Dale who says, "When it all goes to hell, you'll be begging for gerbster meat